convenient is it? Plastic, we all use it every day. How convenient really is it? We all bring these to work, we bring them to school, we bring them to the beach. And what do you do with them when you're done with them? We bring them to Toastmasters. Did you know that 1,500 water bottles every second are put into the landfill and our oceans? They're not biodegradable, as you know from basic science class. It doesn't biodegrade like an apple would that you throw in the woods. When you throw this in the woods, you may have only used it for 2 minutes, but it'll be there for a lifetime. I lived at the shore for more than 22 years. I once saved a sea turtle whose airway was blocked by a straw. That turtle never drank a Coca-Cola in his life. But our plastic garbage nearly killed him. How many fish I've seen, you know, they're tangled up in a plastic. They've never went shopping. We're killing our wildlife, our ocean, and you think, oh, it doesn't affect me, I'm not a fish. Well, if you eat seafood, they just recently found stool in, plastic in a patient's stool. So you're ingesting the seafood, you're also ingesting the microplastics that the seafood ate. What happens with the plastic, it doesn't break down. It goes into the ocean, and where does it end up? Between Hawaii and California. It's called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and it's 3 times the size of France. Twice the size of Texas. If anyone's ever driven through Texas, you know how big Texas is. It's the size of eastern Australia. A big mass of floating plastic garbage. And then it breaks down and it's expanding into the rest of the ocean. We use this, like I said, for a second. And then we discard it like it's nothing. Into our ponds, into our woods, into our lakes. I kayak, I row boats, I also have a motorboat. I can't tell you how much garbage I've picked up in my kayak and rode it back to shore. Just right here in the Ramsey Country Club down here at Sriracha's Pond, up the road. People litter, they don't care. The biggest thing when I lived at the beach for over 22 years, cigarette butts. If you smoke, put your cigarette out, put it in an empty Altoid box or something. And then when you get home, throw them away. So many people, the beach is a big giant ashtray to them. But the filter is not biodegradable. It's not going to degrade. So we don't even think of it. We enjoy our smoke, we put it out on the beach. We drink our water, we put it out. I remember 10 years ago, I took a 6-pack plastic container off a duck's neck. This is just me, like floating around. I mean, I was a critical care trauma nurse. I'm not a veterinarian, but I'm always outside in the nature. I'm out rowing my boat on the bay, and right by me comes a little duck with a 6-pack, you know, the 6-pack plastic thing that you pick up the 6, on his neck. So he was swimming in his own natural habitat with some litter bug's 6-pack container thing on his neck. It makes me sick. This is a reusable bag. I use it every day. But there's thousands and thousands of these plastic bags that I pick up out of lakes and streams and ponds. I see them on the roadways. I see them stuck in trees, along with the Mylar birthday balloons that people don't care. They buy their kids birthday balloons and they let them go into the air, and then they end up in the woods. The plastic pops. Now they're Mylars, so that lasts even longer. And the Mylars is now stuck in beehives, and we're ruining our world. We have to be part of the solution, not part of the pollution. And the amazing thing is these plastic bags, they only came out in the 1960s. And they invented plastic like 1907, but not for normal consumption. In the 1960s, they invented this bag. And they were trying to figure out, so they called it the t-shirt design, because I guess to them it looked like a t-shirt. And they introduced it in America in 1985, but no stores wanted anything to do with it. Finally, by 1995, it captured 80% of the market. I wish it didn't. Prior to that, we had glass milk bottles. We didn't have plastic bottles. What is wrong with thinking about what you're doing? We all live in this world. It's like people that don't vote, but then they complain about who's in office. What right do they have to complain? Every vote counts. Go out and vote. And then if the guy that you didn't vote for didn't get elected, then at least you can complain, but don't sit there and complain if you didn't even go vote. Same with litter. Don't walk through the parks and the streams and the lakes and the beach and complain that it smells and it's full of litter if you didn't even bother to pick up the piece of litter that you sat next to. How many people have the attitude, it's not my job, I didn't throw it there. It is your job, it's your world. I rode my boat around, I didn't throw that litter in the lake either, but I pick it up. I go to work every day, and I start at 6 in the morning. I'm not home until I walk through that door tonight at Toastmasters, about 7:30. That's a long time to be on the road. Every day, I use this. You think I don't get thirsty? Of course I do. I walk dogs, I babysit kids. This is my water bottle, not this. I have about 5 of these. Just fill it up, stays cold longer. This is my lunch bag. You know why? I use this. Because all you people microwaving plastic are now eating it. So when you microwave the plastic, it goes into your food and you're ingesting it. When you freeze the plastic water bottles in the summer so they're nice and cool when you're on the beach, have fun because you're drinking it. The more you freeze it and the more you heat plastic, the more it breaks down and it goes into your body. This is what I use to freeze my coffee with. I drink this every day. A lot of parents don't want this because, you know, they figure it's breakable for children. I'm an adult. I know how to use a glass bottle. Put it on that, it stays cold all day. But, you know, babies are now fed with the, you know, plastic bottles. There was a big thing about that when plastic first came out. They wouldn't give it to babies. I used to work in Playtex Corporation. I had to teach mother, which is funny because I've never been a mother, but I would have to instruct them on how to freeze the breast milk so that they could feed the baby later. And that was in plastic. You know, when we were raised, our mothers used glass bottles. They didn't even use plastic diapers. They had cloth diaper service. The diaper man came and washed them. So be part of the solution, not part of the pollution. And like the old commercial from the 70s say, like the owl said, give a hoot, don't pollute.